You know what's worse than starting a business? Never starting one. While watching everyone else succeed, you're there, never starting. Personally, I've wasted over 3 years in research mode before I discovered a brain hack that finally got me to launch. And what I did was launch a business and it generated me over 100k in my first year. But here's what nobody tells you. That fear you feel, it's not weakness. It's your brain literally sabotaging you with 200,000-year-old survival software. Look, my name's Max Collett, and after building multiple businesses across the UK, the US, and Dubai, I'm trying to help you break free and move past that exact paralysis. Because personally, I discovered a shocking realization that your brain would rather let you fail and just do your current job than succeed at running your own business. And I want to prove that to you today. So, when University of Carolina researchers scanned entrepreneurs' brain, when they thought about launching, the same region lit up when they were facing physical danger. Your brain literally thinks starting a business will kill you. And here's where it gets crazy. I found 3 weird psychological tricks that help hijack this fear response. And the first one is so simple, and it sounds stupid, but it's how I went from 3 years of planning to launching a concept within 7 days. And no, this isn't just some just start motivation or some just general BS. This is neuroscience and it's backed research. Your brain freaks out about starting a business because it's too big. But research from different universities show that it can take just under 10 minutes to bypass procrastination triggers. Watch what happens when you commit to just one 5-minute activity. Not starting a business, just 5 minutes of one tiny action. Because like this, going from I'll just start a business to I'll just message one potential customer, that's it. And if you hate it, you can stop forever. And here's the manipulation. Once you start, your brain releases dopamine. You get addicted to the process. I've seen people use this to go from 0 to their first sale in under a week. And using my friend Sarah as an example, she was in this paralysis state of not starting a business for 2 years. And it took just sending one message with the 5-minute rule that turned her idea into a dream. She managed to land a client and she managed to build a 200k a year recurring revenue business. Tom, 18 months of perfecting his course, used this 5-minute rule to record one lesson, terribly with his smartphone, but someone showed interest, he upgraded his quality, and now he's sold over 1,400 copies. But this 5-minute rule only starts the engine. Trick number 2 is to keep it running. And based on how Navy SEALs train for impossible missions, they create what NYU psychologist Peter Gollwitzer calls implementation intentions. These are situations where backing out is harder than moving forward. And here's how I accidentally discovered this. Slightly extreme example, but how locking yourself in a room and not letting yourself out until you finish an essay, and if you did, I believe the guy was going to have his brother knock him out or something like this. And it forced him to write all his essays and succeed at university. I personally took this, and what I did with a couple of my friends was I told them what I was going to do. I told them if I don't do it, these are going to be the consequences. I think it was you give me back money. This is what it used to be. And I would give them, let's say £500. I'm going to set my deadline, set my targets. And if I don't do it in that time, they get to go spend the money and I don't get to see a penny of it. But if I do it, they give me the money back. And this is a slightly extreme example, but it's forced me to complete what I was wanting to achieve, forced me to start a business, forced me to set up towards a goal. And you don't have to go to that extreme. It didn't mean that my outcome was perfect, but at least I did something. And the psychology to this is brilliant. And it shows that public commitment increases achievement by 76%. Your brain's fear of social embarrassment overrides its fear of business failure. You literally hijack your fear with a bigger fear. So one great example of this could just be texting 5 of your friends right now, telling them that you're going to be showing them their business progress on Sunday. Not your entire business built, but just for progress. And your brain will do backflips to avoid that embarrassment. But here's what's really messed with my head. Successful entrepreneurs aren't braver than you. They're just better at tricking their brains. Great example is someone like Richard Branson. Terrified of failure, started Virgin Airlines by pre-selling tickets he already had to then build an airline. Sarah Blakely, so scared of rejection, she didn't tell anyone about Spanx for years, finally forcing herself by booking retail meetings before even having inventory. And what brings me to trick number 3, the one that sounds completely backwards, but neuroscience prove it works instantly. So this is research by Stanford and discovers your brain believes whatever identity you claim, then forces your actions to match. It's called identity-based behavior change, and it's about 3 times more effective in goal settings. Call yourself an entrepreneur who is building a business, your brain starts building. And it's not a case of fake it till you make it. This is just simple neurological programming. So I want you to test it. Next time someone asks you what you say you do, say I run a business that does X, Y, and Z. Even if you have 0 customers, but watch how your brain scrambles to make it true. I did this at a coffee shop, so I said I run a consulting business, but at this point in time I had no client. The guy next to me overheard my services, and he became a 2K a month client, just because my brain had the idea, and it made my reality real. And you look at the Journal of Business Venturing, their research is insane. People who claim an identity before achieving it are 300% more likely to succeed. Your brain literally rewires to match your stated identity. Now, let me show you why these 3 tricks work by exposing what your brain's actually doing. Because you're not procrastinating, often because people think they're lazy, but research shows that you are stuck in what I personally call the fear stack. Level 1, your fear of losing money. This is a survival threat. Level 2, your fear of looking stupid. This is tribal rejection. Level 3, fear of unknown. This is like a predator in the bushes. Level 4, fear of success. More responsibility equals more danger. And your brain layers these fears until taking action feels like jumping off a cliff. But here's the hack. Use these smaller fears to override bigger ones. So 5-minute rule, fear of wasting life, is bigger than fear of starting. Forcing functions. Fear of embarrassment is bigger than fear of failure. An identity shift. Fear of inconsistency is worse than the fear of action. So you're literally hacking your own operating system. Want a proof of how this works? Don't just take my word for it. Let's do it right now. While you're watching, pull out your phone, and we're going to break your paralysis in the next 60 seconds. So step 1, think of your business idea. Now, hopefully you watched one of the other videos and you've already got it. Step 2, open your notes app. Step 3, write this. I help who, what audience, what niche, achieve X by Y. So an example of this is, I help busy mums achieve workout consistency by 10-minute home workout routines. Step 4, screenshot it. Step 5, post it somewhere. If your heart's racing, good. Because once you hit post, watch the dopamine hit. Watch people ask questions. Watch your brain shift from should I to how do I? And you just use all 3 tricks in 60 seconds. And here's what haunts me. I know people watching this have $1,000,000 ideas, but 99% will close this video and go back into research mode. Not because the tricks don't work, because knowing and doing are 2 different brain functions. So let me make this wildly uncomfortable for you. Every day you don't start, someone dumber than you is making money with a worse idea. They're not smarter, they're not braver, they just started before their brain could stop them. Now, those 3 years I wasted, and the time I've spent wasted planning, I could have failed 36 times, I could have failed 100 times, and still learned more than all my research taught me. The businesses I finally launched are nothing like I've had planned. The market taught me what actually was wanted, and it taught me who to work with and how to work with them. And most people's perfect plan is worthless. The most successful people usually start imperfect, but they start, and that is everything. So here's my challenge to the 7-day launch. Day 1, use the 5-minute rule, 1 tiny action. Day 2, create a forcing function, tell people. Day 3, claim the identity, change your bio. Day 4, make an offer, any offer to anyone. Day 5, get told no, and don't just stop there, celebrate it. Adjust based on the feedback and rinse and repeat. Now, what you've done here is you've launched not the perfect business, but you've started a motion, you've started repetition, you've started consistency. And this enables you to start getting closer and closer to that first sale. And because you've started, it means you're going to be much closer than you were yesterday. So remember the beginning. Your brain thinks business will kill you. Here's the plot twist. It's right. Starting a business will kill the current version of you. The version that plays small. The version that researches instead of doing. And the version that lets fear win. But what emerges? The version that changes everything. The only question is, how many more years will you let your Stone Age brain keep you in a cubicle? Your future customers are waiting. Your future self is waiting. And now you have the hacks to finally pull that trigger and start. So drop a copy of your day 1 action, make it public, make it real, and let your fear of not following through override your fear of starting. Personally, I'll respond to everyone who takes a comment, and I'm excited to see the action you're going to take in the next 24 hours after watching this video. Now, if you found this interesting, we've just done a video on why anyone can make $10,000. So if you're not too sure on your idea, take a look at that video and take both points and see what you can build in the next 7 days.